Before computers were invented, most if not all data were stored on paper, in different folders, kept in drawers. As the years go on and the company increases in size, so does the data, and if not properly managed, the whole storage will soon explode. As technology advances, people realize that drawers isn't the most effective way to store data, and therefore found a way to transfer all this onto the computer, through database softwares. On database softwares, we usually create a blank table, with data inserted that will look like this. And behind is the database which we will use to explain things throughout the whole video. So what exactly is a database? Alright, before I forget, you mentioned the term table before. So what is it? No, it's definitely not the table that we usually do our daily things, for example, reading, writing, and eating. But actually, in real life, you might think of it as a folder, storing all the paper about a certain topic. For example, employee information. On the computer, it looks like this. The whole file containing all information on a certain topic. For example, again, employee information. Let's say this drawer happens to be in one manager's office, storing information about his employees, trucks, and of course, their sales. All of this will be recorded on paper, seemingly one sheet per person. In a database, these sheets of paper about different people are known as many records. On paper, all the data wouldn't make any sense without titles or categories in which they go under. This is the same on computers as well. However, on computers, these categories are known as fields. On the computer, the field goes up and down, whereas the record goes from left to right. There are various data types created to sort the different types of data. Some examples include Boolean, which is only yes or no, alphanumeric, containing text, numbers, and symbols, numeric, containing only numbers, autonumber, in which the system automatically numbers off the records, currency, date/time for date and time, and lookup, which gives a list of choices in which a person can choose their options from. From design view, on the column on the right, is where you can select the appropriate data type which you require for your database. Validation rules are used to decrease the chance of getting unwanted or unneeded data, and to increase the chance of collecting the data required. Some examples of validation rules include the length check, which checks how many characters there are, the range check, which checks the range of the numbers, for example, from 1 to 100, and past 100 or lower than 1 to accept the data, the presence check, which checks that the field is filled in, and the lookup rule, which checks that the data entered is within the list of options given. From design view, you can also add validation rules which you may wish for your database to have, and they can be added through this small row highlighted over here. On databases, there's also the sort function, which orders the records through ascending or descending order according to a specific field. On databases, it can be accessed just selecting a whole field and clicking on the sort button and selecting ascending or descending. Databases are a much powerful data storage tool than drawers. They can also view data in different ways, for example, using a form. Instead of left to right, which can be very annoying for many people, the data in a form is viewed from top to bottom, making viewing and inserting data much more organized and comfortable. There are also queries in which a person can use to search for information. For example, if the boss of the egg transportation company wants to change all trucks that are produced in 2004, he can make a search in the query for all cars with a production date from 2004 /**. Then he could create a report to show all of the data in a clear, organized way. A form can be created using a form wizard. This next section asks for which fields you would like to include in this form. The next asks for which field you would like to take as a priority in ordering. For our case, we did include. Next, click on the next button. Name the form and click next again. Ta-da! You're done! A query can be created using a query wizard. This section asks you once again which fields you would like to include in your query. Next, rename the query and click next, and once again you're finished. But not quite just yet. You still have to enter what kind of items you would like to search for. We tried to do an ***/2004. However, as it turned out, it did not work. This was because the format of the date was different towards what we intended originally. Instead of day, month, year, the system ordered it in year, month, day. So therefore we had to reformulate our search, and we therefore changed it to 2004 ****. A report can be created using a report wizard. Once again, you have to select the source of your fields and which fields you would like from that source. In this case, we chose the query and chose to include all fields. Afterwards, it once again asks you according to which field would you like to prioritize them. We also chose not to prioritize them and went on renaming. After it is renamed, click next and you're finished again. However, it is advisable to edit the report as the report isn't necessarily in its best format. As you might have realized previously, in the query we use the asterisk sign, or if you prefer, the star sign. It is known as a wildcard. One of the hardest things about databases is to be able to build a relational database. A relational database is linking two separate tables together. Often, this requires a junction table, just like how we needed in our database for this company. Due to the strange policies, its workers aren't assigned to a car. Instead, they can use whichever car they like, so long they register it on the database. Therefore, there are many employees which can use many different cars. This is known as a many-to-many relationship, which cannot exist The reason for them not being able to exist is that they'll be very, very problematic, and the database, just like I mentioned before, will go very big. For example, by simply wanting to track down which employee used which car on which date, there will be one new field created on each day, thus meaning 365 new fields are created over a year. However, if this was on a junction table, then there would only be new records created instead of new fields. This forms a one-to-many and many-to-one relationship. The one-to-many is between the two employee IDs. There is only one record which the many created on different days refers to, thus making the tracking a lot easier. The same concept also applies to the two truck IDs, which are fields, just like the employee ID. Notice how the employee ID and the truck ID are both primary keys in another table. These primary keys, which show up in other tables, are known as foreign keys. This is because they are primary keys in a foreign place. Previously, I have also mentioned many-to-many and one-to-many relationships. This is known as referential integrity. This is used to describe the relationships between two fields from two different tables. There is the one-to-one relationship, when every record in table A matches only one record in table B. There is also the one-to-many relationship, which is when each record in table A can match more than one record in table B. And there is also the problematic many-to-many relationship, which is when any record in table N can match more than one record in table B. After listening to so much theory, I think it's only fair that I teach you how to make the relationships. Firstly, go under Database Tools. Next, select Relationships. Then make sure that you've opened all the tables that you need to create the relationships on. Next, click on Edit Relationships. Next, select the two tables which you wish to create a relationship upon, and then select the two fields which you wish to build as a means to store information. But it is also a way to create things such as invitations and the work creating IDs, which are generally the same for everyone, except in which the detail change. In order to do this, we need to have a word processing software. Once you've got it open, go under Mailing. There you'll find Mail Merge. Click on it and select the last option. You will find that a box has appeared on the right side, just like it shows on the screen. In order for this to work, you must have data, and this you get it through a database. So therefore, you go and search for your database inside the computer. Afterwards, you also select a table which you hope to get your information from. Next, by clicking on other options, you will find that you can now insert the field titles onto different lines. By doing so, the database automatically inputs the information on each record into the specified places. Ta-da! This is how it works.